welcome to Homo Politicos. This is Enterprise Television. Kingsley Bass is my name. Let's talk Anambra Gubernatorial elections. An exercise not just for political actors in the state, but for the good people of Anambra State who are very passionate about good governance. Today, we'll get some deep analysis, balanced perspectives, and credible update as Ndi Anambra head to another critical off-cycle election. All sites are now on the state, Anambra State, where voters will head to the polls this Saturday, November 8, 2025, to elect a new governor, or you can say return the incumbent governor. It depends. The good people of Anambra State will decide. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission says it's fully ready, and security agencies have promised a peaceful, credible process. In the race, there are 16 candidates representing various political parties, each of them hoping to convince Anambra's 2.8 million registered voters that they hold the key to progress and good governance. As a matter of fact, if we do further breakdown, you have 14 men contesting, 2 women, and no person with disability contesting, right? Beyond the logistics by the Electoral Commission and promises by candidates and their parties lies the real contest, a test of influence, of popularity and political strategy in one of Nigeria's most politically dynamic states. As campaigns wrap and political temperature rises, key questions remain. Will the incumbent governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, ride an incumbency and the long-standing structure of the All Progressives Grand Alliance in Anambra State? Or can the People's Democratic Party reclaim its lost ground? Will the All Progressives Congress make a surprise breakthrough? Or will Peter Obi's organic following sustain its growing momentum from the 2023 general elections, at least for the Labour Party in this sense? Well, these are some of the various perspectives we'll be unpacking on the show today. So, hey, tag along, be part of it. Let's discuss the candidates, let's discuss the stakes and the state's readiness for this Saturday's elections. Welcome again to Homo Politicos. Kingsley Bass is my name. I'm joined now by a political commentator, Elochukwu Benjamin. He joins me virtually for this conversation. Many thanks for joining me, Elochukwu Benjamin.
Thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate that. Straight to the conversation we go. Let me first get your thought. I mean, you have an understanding of how things play, the politics and governance structure in Anambra State. What first would you say is the mood, of the state as we approach the elections this Saturday? How are the people of Anambra State preparing for these elections? Do you sense that they are ready to go to the polls?
Okay. I would dare say that Anambra people are ready. I say so because of the numerous engagements that have gone down with respect to preparing the people and making them understand the importance of their coming out on Saturday to exercise their franchise. These numerous engagements and activities came on the heels of, against the background of the very poor turnout we had during the last governorship election in the state that produced the incumbent governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. And the people, stakeholders, INEC, civil society, all began to think around how to mobilize the people, to be able to come out this time in their numbers to exercise their franchise. As at the last governorship election, we had about 2.5 million registered voters in Anambra, and it was only 10% of that number that turned out for that election, which you will agree with me that it is not, a significant number. So this time around, we are conscious efforts at sensitizing the people, mobilizing them, to come out this Saturday to vote. And based on that, I would dare say that Anambra people are, well mobilized and well sensitized And the hope is that on Saturday they will come out and vote. Also, one of the major challenges which people had, have feared may also deepen or worsen the voter apathy, which is insecurity, appear, to have whittled down. In the past 1 month or so, we have not had any case of kidnapping, aside that of a medical doctor, a neurosurgeon who was kidnapped last week, Thursday, and which the Nigerian Medical Association in Anambra State gave a 72-hour ultimatum to the state government and security agencies to produce the man or the downed tools. The ultimatum was given on Sunday night, and true to that ultimatum, by late yesterday, which was Tuesday, the neurosurgeon was released. So aside that, there appeared to be, relative peace across parts of the state. Major areas where we used to have flashes of kidnappings, operations of the what they call unknown gunmen, which the security agencies say are known. Most of those places are quite calm. Most grounds lost before to insecurity, and these gunmen have been recovered. And there is the hope that these things will encourage the people, to come out and vote.
Interesting. 2.8 million registered voters, 16 candidates looking to get their attention and their votes as well, get them to thumbprint in their favor come Saturday. Usually, in the build-up to elections like this will be promises. There have been promises. We've heard several promises, including that of the incumbent governor. But before we get to those, intricacies, let's talk about the contenders, the major contenders here. Of course, 16 candidates, with no disrespect to any of the candidates contesting. They have the chance, and each of them have the chance to grab the ticket. But usually there will be, so to say, major contenders, those who might have, gained so much popularity by way of political influence, by way of popularity of the political party they belong to, or their personal popularity. So you want to help Nigerians, understand those who will be major contenders for this Saturday's election.
Okay, I would want to agree with you that in their own right, every candidate that has passed through the party primary and they merged as the flag bearer of that political party, reserve the right to be dubbed as a contender. There is no lesser contender or greater contender. What we may have, because all around the state we see activities, campaign activities, politicians, candidates moving around. What we may have, maybe candidates who may be doing so much activities in terms of billboards, in terms of campaign rallies, and some people may adjudge them to be, the true contenders. I also have heard the resident electoral commissioner here in Anambra State, Dr. Queen Elizabeth Agwo, say that some of the candidates are not actually contending, that they are spoilers. How true that is, I do not know. But looking at how things are going, we have, as the lead contender, if you ask me, the incumbent governor, Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. I say he's a lead contender because he's an incumbent seeking re-election. And APGA, for a good number of years, have held sway since they took over in 2006. It has been a sustained reign of APGA dispensation here in Anambra State. So he's coming, into the election with a very strong foot. Because of the what I would call lasting dominance, political dominance APGA has in Anambra State. After APGA, I would say the All Progressives Congress, APC. Reason is because, for one reason or the other, I do not know, the PDP appear to be, for want of the right word, dead in Anambra. I never observed, as somebody, you know, who watch political development in Anambra State, I never observed a single campaign rally organized by the PDP in Anambra.
Wow.
Not one. I never heard, I never observed. I also did not hear any single political jingle by the PDP on any radio station or television. Not one. I stand to be corrected. I also did not see any single billboard. I live in the capital city, and I have not seen any single billboard of the candidates of the PDP. The last I heard of him was when he had when he was shot in Abuja, and that was the last I heard of him. There has been no mobilization whatsoever. I did not see. Let me use that word.
When he was shot, so, you mean gunshot?
Yes, he was actually shot. He sustained serious gunshot that he had to stay for months in Abuja. You know, the information was skeletal because it didn't happen here. So what we hear is what we read. You know, what we know is what we read. It wasn't something that happened here, and ever since he has not been around. So that's why I would dub the APC. The candidate is Prince Nicholas Okachuku, you know, the one that would follow after Governor Chukwuma Soludo. Then after that, you may get the Labour Party. I say Labour Party because of the influence of the former governor of Anambra State and former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi. George Mogalo, who is the candidate of the party, is doing his best to move around and mobilize the people, trying to ride on that influence, that Peter Obi's influence, the obedience. It is arguable because a faction of that obedience are now, you know, under the ABGA umbrella, supporting the incumbent governor, Charles Chukwuma Soludo. Another faction moved away with somebody they call the boy to Mr. Peter Obi, Mr. Valentine Ozibo, when he joined the APC. Now, now a faction, because of the merger, because of the coalition with ADC, some have also moved to the ADC. So what we have remaining in Labour Party are core strong supporters of the Labour Party and those who were mobilized by their candidate, George Mogalo. After George Mogalo, I would also look at the ADC, where you have John Umosu contending. A great guy, I would dare say, fringe in his dealings, more like Peter Obi in character, you know, but Anambra is not a base for ADC. As a matter of fact, it wasn't until the last coalition that we began to see something around ADC. Then we also have a very viable female candidate in the person of Chioma Ife Meludike, who is the candidate of the African Action Congress, AAC. She has been actually going around, you know, talking, speaking, appealing to the people. Her candidacy, her campaigns rests more on the need for the people to de-emphasize votes buying and vote selling, because according to her, she stands no chance if that becomes the order of the day on the 8th of November. For me, I would dare say these 5 candidates. Okay, and lastly, for me, is the candidate of the AA Action Alliance, Chief Jeff Nweke, who we have his billboards scattered all over the state. In fact, he has done much in terms of billboards, political jingles on radio, campaign rallies. How viable his candidacy is, I wouldn't dare say. I believe the November 8th election will provide answers to that.
Well, interesting their perspectives and breakdown of what we can call the major contenders. 6 you have listed from 16,
yes.
So 10 more. Of course, again, with due respect to them, they have their might, their political weight, and we'll see how the good people of Anambra State decide this Saturday. Let's talk about something critical. There's been one conversation on the front burner when it comes to this particular election, and that is zoning. We see this across board, the federal, the state, even sometimes the local government level. Politicians will talk about zoning, which zone in a particular election should provide what candidate and the rest. As a matter of fact, the incumbent has been, that's Professor Charles Soludo, has been speaking about that, saying that, oh, it's the turn for Anambra South to present a candidate or a governor, that anybody who tells you otherwise wants to divide the people. What do you have to say about this perspective, and how are the people of Anambra State receiving this zoning, campaign or perspective thrown at them?
Yeah, it was at the twilight of his administration that former governor Mr. Peter Obi initiated that zoning arrangement after consultation with political leaders, traditional rulers, and major stakeholders across Anambra State. The idea was to ensure that no senatorial zone in Anambra State will have three: Anambra North, Central, and South. The idea was to ensure that no senatorial zone, is denied a seat at the state hem. Prior to that time, we have had governors dominantly from two senatorial zones, Anambra South and Anambra Central, and it appeared to be rotating, between these two. Now, Peter Obi thought, if we could make it an unwritten agreement, a sort of gentleman's agreement to accommodate our people, because one thing about zoning you would not do away with is that somehow it tends to evenly spread infrastructural development. While Ngige was here, he made sure that most of the roads in Anambra Central, especially his hometown, Alo, we are done and done properly. He did a bit in some other places, but there was a major focus on, his area. Now, Peter became the same thing. Now, Anambra North people, we are clamoring for development. They didn't have the political muscle as at the time, to produce a candidate and mobilize other people from other side to, rally around their candidate. So it was Peter Obi who insisted on this arrangement, consulted with stakeholders, and it was adopted. And ever since that time, that was 2014, when he brought former governor Chief Willie Obiano from Aguleri in Anambra North. After Aguleri, after North, the seat is supposed, by that arrangement, is supposed to go back after 8 years of North. It was supposed to go to South. Now South will do 8 years, and it will come to Central. So that's helped a lot to, give people from these areas some sense of belonging. And it is working, I would dare say, because since it was introduced in 2014, it has been maintained. We had 8 years of Chief Willie Obiano as governor from the North. It went to South immediately after him. We have 4 years already done by Chukwuma Soludo, who is the incumbent governor, and who is saying that he wants to do another 4 years so that it can come back to Central. Now, this is the dynamics. While we have candidates from other zones coming out, for contest in this election, the two major candidates, the Professor Chukwuma Charles Soludo and Prince Nicholas Okachukwu, are from the South. Now, the Central, the people of the Central, which is the Anambra Central, is a politically viable and conscious zone. Is the zone that P2B is from this zone. Former governor and senator and minister, Senator Chris Ngige, is from this zone. Yeah. Senator Victor Ume is from this zone. And Senator Uche Kunife is from, and many others. Now, a whole lot of these people are already anticipating, some of them with political ambitions, to vie when it comes to them after the next 4 years. So many of them feel at home with anybody from the South who is going to complete 4 years so that power can come to them. Any other candidates, yes, we have people from even their brothers from Anambra Central. They are not pushing for them. They are actually rooting for those who they believe will only do 4 years and the power. Even Nicholas Okachukwu has observed this dimension and has been promising that he will only do one single term. I mean, Nicholas Okachukwu of the APC. Yeah. That he will only do one term of 4 years, and he will hand over to Anambra Central. So the zoning arrangement is, if you ask me, is working. Where we may have some people speaking against it, if you look behind or under or beneath what they are saying, you would see interests. You will understand. It's either the person has a political interest or there is, something else the person wants to gain. But there is one thing about zoning. Zoning tends to shield out some even qualified persons from the contest. Yeah. We see some very viable candidates, but because they know that they don't stand a chance, if they decide to come out against this zoning arrangement, they would fail. You see them, they will move away from the contest. These are technocrats. These are people who we know their capacity, what they have done before, and that if they are able to, ascend the state helm, that they can do things, for the state. But because of this zoning arrangement, that's just for me what I think is a downside to the zoning arrangement. But aside that, the arrangement is working perfectly in Anambra.
Interesting. We'll drop the conversation in just a moment, but before we go, we cannot look away from another interesting dynamics that comes with, or another interesting perspective that comes with elections in Nigeria, and that is voter inducement, vote buying, and issues around that. The new chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission has warned political parties and their candidates and political party members to play by the books. We saw just a few days ago, they signed the Peace Pact and promised, that comes with promises to, go to the polls peacefully, avoid violence, and ensure free, fair, and credible elections. But in the midst or in the heat of the campaign, we've seen the incumbent governor make promises to wards, to local government, to reward local government awards with the highest number of voters, and the rest. How has the people received this? And, what's the perception, thought about money playing a huge part in this election?
That statement by the governor to reward the area that turns out the greatest number of votes for him has been a major source of concern for political watchers like me. I say so because there is an angle to it that looks as if which the opposition, the APC, the Labour, the YPP, and the AAC are holding on to say that the governor is already violating the Electoral Act, which goes against votes buying. I've also spoken with the Chief Press Secretary to the governor, Mr. Christian Aburime, who explained that the import of the governor's statement is to encourage voter turnout. As a matter of fact, he's not promising the money to every ward, every ward or every community. He's promising the prize to the one ward or one community that turns out the highest number of voters. According to him, it is a way of encouraging our people to defeat this, voter apathy thing that has, made a mess. Because imagine in a population where you have 2.5 million registered voters, you are having only about 250,000 coming out to decide who will lead the state for the next 4 years. For me, it places a question mark around the credibility of that person, that the candidacy, the victory of that person, because 250,000 is only 10% of the registered voters. So it's a major challenge. Now the government is saying that why the governor did that was to encourage people to come out and vote. He wants to make it a healthy contest, a healthy competition where people, this ward will say, for instance, the Achina Ward 1 in Agwata will say, I want to be the one that will win this money. And they will mobilize the people to come out. You have Oka South Ward 2 here coming out to, to beat that same thing. So according to him, and if you look at it, somehow it appears to, be a very good strategy. But beyond that, the issue of votes buying is a major challenge. And so far in Anambra, it has gone unabated. In the last two elections that happened here, by-elections, one for Anambra South Senatorial Zone and the other for Onitsha North 1 state constituency, we saw massive votes buying. It was done brazenly, sometimes with the connivance of security agencies. There was nothing anybody could do about why you could say that there is no violence. There was no violence. But you see people walk gently, you vote, you show them, like the place I monitored. You vote, you show the guy, immediately you walk to him and he hands you your own money and you go. It begs the question: how does a candidate who doesn't have a deep pocket, how does he sail
what
through?
What chance does the person stand? Yes.
What chance does he have
value of
in
this
such
money
election?
If you know how much they were given.
In the last elections, we saw some candidates giving out as much as 20,000 naira per voter. 20,000 naira per voter. And for me, it's a worrisome development, because somebody who is giving out this money, the person is not CBN. He or she would definitely want to recoup their money when they go. And tomorrow, you as the electorate, you begin to complain. That brings me to a big sensitization I observed that went on. And I'll give kudos to the CDEC. There's a CSO group called CDEC here in Anambra State that have taken it upon themselves to emphasize the importance of the people voting according to their conscience. And they have also thrown bare the dangers of monetizing the ballot. They have held campaigns in markets, in public places, to inform the people that when they collect money from, these politicians to vote for them, they lose their rights to demand good governance when these people emerge. Because, of course, they would say they have settled you. And there is no amount of money you collect now from the politician to vote for him or her that will last you for the next 4 years. So I think it's something they have worked on, and we will wait to see on November 8th across the polling units where I would monitor, to see how this education, how this sensitization has gone down well with the people. Hopefully,
this sensitization would have touched the hearts of many hungry.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Lochuku, can you hear me? Pardon.
Hello.
I can hear you clearly. Got your analysis. If you can hear me clearly. Well, can you hear me?
Hello, your line is faint.
Oh, okay. For your balanced analysis of this Guba election come this Saturday in Anambra State. Many thanks, Lojuku Benjamin. Yes, appreciate you joining me today. Many thanks. That's Homo Politicals did promise you at the start of the broadcast that this is going to be deep, it's going to be balanced. Of course, I gave you perspectives into this election happening in Anambra come this Saturday. And so there we go. Many thanks for staying there. Many thanks for joining me on Homo Politicals today. We've been talking core politics, and we'll continue to monitor developments there in Anambra State as the people go to the polls to vote. 16 political parties, 16 candidates, 14 men, 2 women. Well, nobody with disability contesting, no person with disability contesting. And well, hopefully we can see the rise of that, and we can have the politics, an inclusive politics where lots of more people come into, contest and be part of the process. That's Homo Politicals today. Stop by the comment section, especially if you are from Anambra State. Stop by the comment section. Let me hear what you have to say, your preparation for the election, whether you'd be there in the state to vote, or you'd be monitoring from, anywhere around the world. Just let me know in the comment section what you think, and let's continue to push for good governance, indeed for free, fair, and credible polls in Nigeria, whether it's the local government election, whether it is the state or federal. In this sense, we look and continue to shine the spotlight on Anambra State come this Saturday. Homo Politicals has been the show. Kingsley Bassey is my name. You've been watching Enterprise Television. Until next time, we say may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye for now.